This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Morning Drive on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. All right, so Saturday and this weekend obviously was the U.S. Open, right? Mm-hmm. And it was won by Wyndham Clark. He finished with a 4-under total and shot yesterday. He did not have a good day. He was 3 over, and he hung on and made big shots when he needed to, including a huge lag putt on 18 to hold off Sam Burns, who finished at -3. So Saturday, I'm listening to Thetford and Ashby, and just kind of doing my kind of normal routine Saturday morning stuff, just kind of milling around the house, and the various folks that they had in and out, and they had a friend of mine on, former Lady Raider assistant Matt Corkery, and he was talking about his experience at the World Cup, which was fascinating to hear just from a fan's perspective and bucket list thing. And he and his wife had followed a certain team, and so they ended up going to the match at Jerry's place the other day, and just talking about how the whole thing went and the chance and the whole deal. And then right after that, they go to the phone and they visit with a guy by the name of Russell Clark. Well, Russell Clark happens to be Wyndham Clark's father. And apparently, back in the day, David's wife and Wyndham Clark's wife developed a relationship through their work with Mary Kay. And David and he had developed a relationship, and Wyndham Clark actually came to Lubbock when he was a young boy and played at the Rawls course. It's fun. And so Russell Clark was in Denver. That's where he lives. And David asked him if he was going to go to the final round, if he was in the lead after Saturday. And, of course, after Saturday, he had a 6-shot lead. He was -7. And Russell was somewhat reluctant, just from the standpoint of, I don't want to put any extra pressure on him. I don't want to I don't want to be in the way. He goes, if I go, it's going to be a red eye. I've looked at it, and and then I'll just walk in the crowd. I want to be inconspicuous. He didn't want his son to see him just because he didn't want to, be in the way, so to speak. And so Thetford goes on and on and on about, hey man, you got to go. It's one of these opportunities. And so finally he ended up going, because David said, I want to see that big bear hug on Sunday afternoon. And you could tell after Clark hits his little tap-in putt on 18 and clinches the U.S. Open, and his girlfriend runs out there, and his friends are out there, and his manager, agent, whatever. And then he sees his dad, and he's like, "Oh, you made it!" And he was just shocked and surprised. So it was like, I don't know if the guy wouldn't. Because Thetford really, really kind of went to the point. It's like, hey man, you gotta go, just really encouraging him to make that effort to go. So I don't know. I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
and it gave me somebody to root for after Ludwig just kind of hit the bricks on Saturday. Man, he just had a terrible, terrible day on Saturday, and then yesterday he came back and had a really, really good day to finish +3 for the tournament. But he was out of it by the time Sunday rolled around, and then he kind of put himself in position with finishing with a tie for 17th. It doesn't really get him a whole much. He won $280,000, that's still a good day, good weekend's work, right?
No, definitely.
But the Wyndham Clark won $4.5 million, so that'll take care of that. That'll take care of that plane ticket. I would imagine. I texted David and Gary last night because I just thought that was that was a great story. And Thetford said, he goes, I felt all this pressure for Wyndham to win because I strongly encouraged Randall to go. Randall was afraid he'd jinx him if he showed up. I told him to stay out of sight until it was over. He said, I'm so thankful he was there. They both needed that moment together. So apparently,
Randall or Russell?
I'm sorry, Randall. His name is Randall. I said Russell, but his name is Randall.
Okay.
Yeah. The father's name is Randall. I think I said Russell, so that's my bad. But he said they just had some issues over the years, and fathers and sons, that happens. But anyway, it was if you want to go back and listen to Thetford and Ashby on Saturday, it was during the 11 o'clock hour, so their last hour. The interview with Randall Clark, the father of Wyndham Clark, who just won the U.S. Open, and again he played at the Rawls course as a little boy. Thetford was like, well, I gave him all these tips, just David being David, which was kind of funny. It's just kind of, but it's a neat story. And it was good to see that, and it was good to hear that story on Saturday with David and Gary. They did a really good job with that.
That's awesome.
6:38 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that if you have a thought on that. All right, so you went back and looked at the Bryce Harper triple as part of his cycle, and you're in agreement with the official score.
Yeah, I think because Harper's running hard the whole way. Now, if the shortstop who had his back to the infield, who was catching the relay and immediately threw home, if he had any sense and somebody on the field had been calling for it, they would have told him to go to third and not home. But clearly that wasn't the case, and Harper would have been out by 6 or 8 steps. But Harper was running hard the whole way, and I think that allows the official scorer to give him the triple on that play.
Yeah. And
even though, if again he cuts it and doesn't relay home and relays to third, Harper wouldn't even have slid. He'd have been out by a long shot.
Yeah, you could see he was lumbering between second and third. But, I mean, really impressive, though, to hit for the cycle by the 5th inning. I mean, you don't see that.
It just goes to show you how bad they beat up on the Mets that day.
Yeah, no question. No question, especially with a couple of home runs by Charbonneau in the same inning. It's crazy, too.
Schwarber,
yeah. What did I say, Charbonneau? I came up with a new name, didn't I? Schwarber. We're hitting all the bells today, Jamie. Kyle Schwarber. But he was like 400-plus foot home runs. And they haven't seen that in the major league since they measured the distance like in 1996.
He's been one of the best of baseball over the last few years.
Yeah.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Today is Monday, June the 22nd. There's another Monday left in June. With this day in sports history, here is Jeff McGuire.
There is another Monday in June.
Yeah.
There's even another Tuesday in June.
Right.
Not another Wednesday, though. We are out of Wednesdays after Wednesday this week.
That's right. 30 days.
We'll go to July at that point.
That's right.
It sucks for us at that point.
Yeah, Wednesday will be the last Wednesday in June.
The last time you can get work done during June.
Yeah, it's
on Wednesday.
It's flying by.
1921 is where we will start this fiasco today. Pat Monermi wins a world record 10,000 meter, 30 minutes, 40 seconds, 0.2.
Wow. Just one race?
Just one race today. I know. He's slacking. 10,000 meters, he's slacking. We get it. 1958. A game in Kansas City between the A's and the Red Sox is delayed 29 minutes due to a tornado.
Mm-hmm. But then they still played?
They still played. And the A's would win 2-1. 1987. Tom Seaver retires after his third stint with the New York Mets. In 2006, former Red Raider Josh Bard goes 3 for 4 with a double in a 5-3 Padres loss to the Texas Rangers. And in 2025, NBA Finals, Oklahoma City Thunder defeat the Indiana Pacers 103-91 in Game 7, winning the franchise's first NBA title since moving to Seattle, from Seattle to Oklahoma City in 2008. It is National Chocolate Eclair Day.
Okay.
And National Onion Ring Day.
Okay.
I don't know that I would have an eclair with onion rings. Seems like an odd combination.
It does, but both are good.
Happy birthday today. Meryl Streep is 78, Cyndi Lauper 73, Bruce Campbell 68, Carson Daly 53, Denny Green 39, Champ Bailey 48, Kurt Warner 55, and Clyde Drexler is 62.
Hard to believe Cyndi Lauper. I wonder if she's still as crazy as she was at 33 as she is at 73. Or even 23.
She's still wanting to have fun, probably.
Probably so. Still wanting to have fun, yeah.
Different kind of fun now, probably, at 73.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. You said Drexler was 63?
62.
62. He always looked like he was in his 60s because he was one of those guys that tried to keep the hair even though the hairline was just leaving him badly.
Yes.
Instead of just shaving it, and looking good with a shaved head. He had this
50-50 thing, and it was it went 50-50 quickly.
It made him look like 15 or 20 years older than he actually was, even though he was still dunking on people.
And on this day, 1944, U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signs the G.I. Bill, an unprecedented act of legislation designed to compensate returning members of the armed services, known as GIs, for their effort in World War II. By giving veterans money for tuition, living expenses, books, supplies, and equipment, the GI Bill effectively transformed higher education in America. Before the war, college had been an option for only 10 to 15% of the young Americans, and the university campuses had become known as a haven for the most privileged class. By 1947, in contrast, vets made up half of the nation's college enrollment. 3 years later, nearly 500,000 Americans graduated from college, compared to 160,000 in 1939.
That's good stuff.
Well, good for FDR, yeah.
And that is this day in sports history.
This day in sports history. It's interesting that you had a tornado to talk about in this day in sports history. I saw this over the weekend. It made me sad because I did not know that this thing existed, but now that I know it existed, it's potentially a place that I would have liked to have visited. There was a tornado on June 17th in Effingham County in Effingham, Illinois. The destruction, thankfully, didn't kill anybody, but it wiped out a nationally known Corvette museum and automotive complex, wiping out decades of history in just moments. It's and the other thing is that they had historic cars that one of a kind. The museum was called My Garage Museum. It housed a collection built over 50 years, considered a destination for Corvette enthusiasts across the country, according to this article. And it's funny, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, they had a big Corvette kind of showing. You know, the Corvette guys like to show off the cars, which if I had a Corvette, I'd be right there with them, you know. And they had one set up in the parking lot between Quaker and Slide there on 82nd Street. And I wanted to stop by. I kind of ran out of time, and the boys were out of town, so I was just like, well, screw it. There's nothing better looking, I think, than a cherry red Corvette. Although at my age, getting in and out of that every day would be probably not ideal. But
you also put a lot of miles on your car.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think having a Corvette would be kind of a cool car to have, you know. And I have a buddy of mine that had one for. I don't know if he still has it or not, but I drove it a couple of times and it's like, okay, this is really cool, but I can't see myself. It's not practical, but they're cool. They're cool. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's just,
a lot of things like that in life.
That just kind of made me sad when I read that article. That it's like, that's too bad for that guy and that business and that family. But like I said, thankfully, at least with that particular tornado, nobody dead. And this guy lived a life, but he did something that I was unaware of. His name is George Schreiber. Jeff, you have any idea what George Schreiber did in life?
He was a Schreiberer.
I just like that you said he lived a life as opposed to living
a death.
He lived he lived a good life. I mean, at 84.
There's the key word we missed.
If you make it to 84, I feel like that you've lived a good life, and I feel like that's...
I would agree with you with that. 84, man, I'd call that a
solid.
win.
Yeah. So George Schreiber was known as the guy that developed the soft pretzel that you get at stadiums.
Okay.
So you have George Schreiber to thank if you go to a stadium, arena, etc., and you enjoy a soft pretzel.
Is he the one that decided to charge $10 for that?
I don't know.
Because that's the guy I want to find out.
I don't mean to disparage Mr. Schreiber at all. Way to go, because I know a lot of people in this world like him. There's not many things that I think are more overrated than a pretzel.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, many people in this world love them, and it's a part of going to the ballpark or stadium or whatever. So a great job.
Yeah.
Just not for me.
Yeah. You would put
Even if they weren't $10, Jeff, they're just not appealing to me.
You would put the pickle.
Way worse than the pretzel. I would eat a pretzel. I've eaten them before. I'm not coming near a pickle.
Yeah. But pickles, you're completely out on those packaged pickles in the stadium. You want nothing to do with
goodness, no.
Or even pickles on a hamburger or anything.
Yeah, he's not the only one.
Correct.
I know, but he's
not the only one on this show that doesn't like pickles.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like pickles either? You know what I learned the other day?
You're a pickle?
No. This was shocking, almost anti-American. Ben Portman, our very own Ben Portman, does not like hamburgers. He said he tried one once and he didn't understand what the big deal was, and he does not eat hamburgers. How can he be employed here?
Chuck? Glass houses and stones, man. Glass houses and stones.
More for me.
I guess so, but man, it was just stunning.
That is definitely surprising. No wonder he's in such good shape.
Probably so.
Yeah.
And he's really good at what he does too. So that's why he's here. Yeah.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. I seem to be probably the lone person on this. It's not a total surprise. I don't know. Just it seems reasonable that we're going to have some kind of culpability for all of this because we retained Brendan Sorsby and fought to keep him eligible and on the roster. And when the going got tough, had a letter written by Ken Paxton, the Attorney General, which.
But that came after they were threatening us.
No, they made a threat that they were going to do something. They weren't going to file a lawsuit against us. They made a threat that they were going to invoke the conference bylaws. So by invoking the conference bylaws, I don't think that's the threat of a lawsuit. That's the threat of we're going to hold you accountable for what's in our bylaws here as a member of the Big 12 Conference. And as a result of what you are doing, we don't think that is within. We the Big 12 don't think that's within the confines of what you should be able to do. So therefore, we're going to fine you or we're going to suspend your player. And then the Big 12, then Texas Tech said, "Well, no, you're not. We're gonna sue you."
Yeah, all threats that they made towards Texas
Tech.
Even though Texas Tech was doing what the court system in our country told them to do.
Yes, but the threat was not a lawsuit by the Big 12. The threat was we're going to hold you accountable by our bylaws.
Still, it's a threat.
It is a threat, but we're the ones that said we're going to sue you. And then the Big 12 said, no, you're not. Which is
what basically they were going to take money from Texas Tech.
Yes.
It's the same thing as suing someone.
Yes, right. Yeah. I just
punish you. We're going to punish you by taking money.
I'm sorry, but it just seems to me that is a reasonable ask that we're responsible for some of the court costs because at the end of the day it didn't work out.
Yeah, I really think it's a really bad time for them to do that when they cut down those other fines.
Okay, and I don't disagree with that.
At the same time, really bad time. I don't think it is. I don't think they would have a leg to stand on because, again, Texas Tech was doing what they were told to by the court system.
And I agree with that.
Yep.
And I agree with that. I'm just saying that.
And I don't like per se how the court ruled.
Yes,
I don't like per se that the NCAA wasn't able to make their own rules.
I know.
I don't think a kid who did what he did should have been allowed to play.
Yeah,
I'm not in favor of any of that.
You're not. I know you're not. I know you're not.
But in this instance, I don't think Texas Tech did anything wrong.
Okay. Well,
they followed what the court told them.
I guess I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying that if you threaten to sue somebody and then somebody else has to go get an attorney and then they have to defend themselves and then at the end of the day you pull out and then they're left holding the bag, they're going to say, okay, well, what you did caused me to have an attorney, and so as a result of that, I need my court costs.
Yeah, it sounds like business to me. Sounds like there's been probably tons and tons and tons of that going on every day in this world, in the business world.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is business. You're right, and it sucks sometimes.
And if these two, in my opinion, if they weren't butthurt at Texas Tech, the other schools in the conference, this would not be happening.
And I throw back at you
like these schools are really worried about a few $100s of court costs.
I think it's semantics.
And when they're making millions and millions in their athletic department, like they're worried about a few $100,000.
They're generating millions and millions. They're not necessarily making millions and millions because nobody's making millions and millions. They're generating millions and millions, and they're spending millions and millions. Now, could they run their business better?
I don't know, man. I'm looking at these football stadiums and these arenas and these places that they're practicing in and showering in. I think somebody's making millions and millions.
I'm not disputing the fact that they're making millions. But I'm telling you, they're net. They're not making anything. They're spending everything that they make. So I mean, that's.
You are treading water really well right now, Chuck.
How am I treading water? I'm not treading water.
Circles.
No, I'm not. I'm not treading any water. All I'm saying is they spend every dollar that they get. I mean, they're generating millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars. There's no question. But at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot left. Yeah, it's just my take.
Nobody over there is making money. Nobody over there is getting rich. The players, the coaches. No,
I'm not saying
ADs,
that. No. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about the department as a whole. I'm not talking about the individuals. Yes, individuals are doing quite well. There's no question. There's no question if you're the head football coach of a Big 12 school, you are doing very well. Same thing as an athletic director. Same thing as some of the top football players and basketball players on your roster. There is no question that they're doing well. Resident Aggie, maybe the Big 12 commissioner could sell their basketball court to help with the legal costs. Well, they were just renting it, but yeah, I get it. That didn't work out, It was cool, but it didn't work out. When Media Days comes around, it will be very interesting to see how relationships and interactions go. It will, and we will have full coverage for you on July 7th and 8th from Big 12 Media Days at the Star in Frisco. DPI. Morning, fellas. If the Big 12 tries to hold us culpable for any part of this at that point, we need to be moving on to a new conference. Where are we going to go, DPI?
Yeah, that's the problem, dude. You got nowhere to go.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the ACC, and you sure as heck don't want to go to the Pac-12 because it's not a Power 4 conference anymore.
Why don't you want to go to the ACC?
Because I think the ACC is less than the Big 12 in stature. And
I would disagree with that. I think if you had the opportunity to go to the ACC, especially right now, you would jump in a heartbeat.
You do?
Yep.
Man, I hope not.
Their TV deal is so much better than yours.
No. The Big 12 TV deals is third on the list. It's behind in the ACC. Their TV deal they are up a creek because of the length.
Teams that want to leave also. Yes.
The length of it.
I still think you'd much rather be in the ACC than the Big 12.
Man, I think in terms of football power, it's clearly Big 10, SEC, and then huge difference between second and third with the Big 12, and then the ACC is after that.
With the schools that they have in the ACC and Florida State and Miami and schools like that, we're a bigger football power
I think so.
when we get one team in?
Yeah. I think by and large, the Big 12 is a bigger football power than the ACC.
Yeah, we'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
It used to be when we had Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, they're gone.
Yeah, I know. They're gone. And they've been gone for quite some time. Somebody says this. I'm going to assume that you're an attorney. Attorney fees are not recoverable just because you hired an attorney to defend your position. I mean, somebody's got some experience with that, maybe. I say Tech boycott Big 12 Media Days. Hell with them. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Then you will get fined.
We've spent a lot of money to go. Please don't.
Yeah. This agreed. ACC is a better conference. Looked at a better conference. This has Chuck had a single take this morning that isn't absolutely stupid. Wow. Well, my take about golf was pretty good.
I really wish there was some place that we could go because it feels like right now that the Big 12, the rest of the schools are as anti-Texas Tech as they could possibly be. And
you think that'd be any different in the ACC?
Well, if they accepted us, Chuck, that clearly means they want us.
I understand that, but I think
if they're like, yeah, come join us, that doesn't mean they hate us.
There's no party invite from the ACC.
I didn't say that there was. I'm just saying I'd rather be there.
Yeah.
Okay. But if we were to join the ACC, that would obviously mean that they had gave us an invite.
Yeah.
And that the schools there want us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we can't just force our way into their conference.
No,
hey, I called it. Shotgun.
It's not going to happen.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
At
Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Pretend for a minute that you're joining the ACC. Mm-hmm. They don't want 19, they want 20. Mm-hmm. You have to take someone with you.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you want to take with you?
Well, first of all, I don't want to go to the ACC, but I'll play the game.
And this is going to be a really fun last hour and a half.
I'll play the game. Who do I want to take with me?
You guys really need me for the last hour and a half.
We do. You kind of feel like you got to take somebody that's kind of in your hood. You know what? I'll take Oklahoma State with me.
Okay.
I'll take Oklahoma State with me because I don't give a rat's what about TCU or Baylor, and I certainly don't want anything to do with KU or K-State in the ACC. Utah and BYU aren't going without one or the other. Houston is a commuter school. The Arizona schools are staying together. How
can you say that about BYU and Utah when they haven't been together forever?
Well, they're together now. They ain't going. They're together now. They're together now.
Oh yeah, they're strove together.
They're 45 minutes away from each other.
I mean, BYU's been an independent forever.
It just makes sense for them.
Utah's been in 48 different conferences.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Never with BYU until the last couple of seasons.
It just makes sense. It just makes sense for them to be together. They're 45, literally 45 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, and we're close to South Plains, too, but we're not taking them.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a junior college, okay?
Thanks, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
I agree with Chuck. Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. My number one answer is BYU, because I think they would bring the most to the conference. They would help the conference.
Mm-hmm.
They bring eyeballs. They bring what conferences want. Which
it's a nationwide school, no question.
Yeah, that's going to help you make money. I mean, since we don't care about travel and we don't care about the semantics of getting to these places,
mm-hmm.
I mean, you're all across the country anyways. I mean, they've got more schools that are more west than BYU in the ACC. So, yeah, I'm taking BYU. I think that's the best other school to take with you, brand to take and improve the conference.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I went with Oklahoma State, you need to bring a rival with you.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And I'm not bringing TCU or Baylor.
See, I wouldn't be opposed to TCU just because I like the rivalry.
Sure.
But the same thing for Oklahoma State. That's one of the reasons why I like bringing them. So I think you guys, your answer was good.
If we're moving, I'm taking an original Big 12 member. Like, I might be the only one that puts any credence into that.
Well, I ain't got no love for the Big 12 right now, Jeff McGuire.
I'm not putting any credence in that.
Dies a painful.
I might be the only one.
That's fine with me.
That puts the OG members a little higher than the newcomers, and TCU and West Virginia are newcomers compared to the OGs.
I surely wouldn't be taking West Virginia. West Virginia might be the last school I would take with us.
No, that would be Cincinnati right now. Or Utah.
UCF, too.
Cincinnati's a good answer, Jeff.
Yeah, Cincinnati's a good answer. I mean, Cincinnati, UCF, and West Virginia. I mean, first of all, let's just be honest. Really what they need to do is they need to blow up the whole doggone thing, okay? Blow it all up. And put your X number of schools, your 64 teams or whatever you want to do for football in a super conference, and then go back to regional conferences for everything else. Put the Southwest Conference back together, put the Big 8 back together, put the SEC like it's supposed to be, the ACC like it's supposed to be, the Pac-12 like it's supposed to be, the Big 10 like it's supposed to be, the Big East like it's supposed to be, and that will put charter airplane companies out of business nationwide, okay? And it will help athletic departments balance their budgets.
I disagree with the charter airplane thing.
Well, it'll put them.
Is Texas Tech now busing? To Stillwater for a men's basketball game?
No, but it'll.
Won't they take a charter flight?
No, because you won't be playing them because they won't be in your conference.
Oklahoma State won't?
If you put the Southwest Conference.
TCU.
If you put the Southwest.
TCU.
It's a shorter flight.
But it's still a flight.
It's a shorter flight, though. It's a shorter flight. No, they're not going to bus men's basketball. No, they're not going to do that. No, they're not.
So how are they getting there, Chuck?
They're going to fly. They're going to
commercial.
No, they're going to fly charter. Uh-oh. My point is, they're going to be less of them because you're not going to have all this other stuff. I don't know. If God came down today and said, Chuck Heinz, you're in charge of college athletics. The very first thing that I would do is
I'd take the table.
Huh?
Hide under the desk.
Very first thing I would do is I'd say, give me 50 football teams or 60 football teams, and those teams are playing for a national championship. Okay, the wannabes of Boise State and Slippery Rock and Virginia Tech and all these other lame schools. We're not. You can play for a championship, but it's not going to be the big boy championship. It's going to be the little boy championship, and then we're going to have the conferences like they're supposed to be. The Big 8 is going to be the Big 8: Nebraska and Missouri and Kansas State and Iowa State, okay, and Oklahoma State. The Southwest Conference is going to be what it's supposed to be: all the Texas schools plus Arkansas, okay. This is for men's basketball, women's basketball, baseball, tiddlywinks, meat judging. Could be meat jumping too, could be jumping over the meat, and track and field and whatever else you want to do. Okay, but football, it's on its own because that's where 97 cents out of every dollar that's generated for athletic departments is coming from football. So why not treat it like that?
I think one of our textures has a very pertinent question. Chuck, why do you hate flying? This coming from Flyover Guy.
I do not hate airplanes. I do not.
Well played.
Bobby Hot Dogs. Chuck is putting on a master class in backpedaling and making up stuff as he goes along today. Hats off to you, sir. Chuck logic at its finest. Chuck with one horrendous take after another. Keep listening, man. Keep listening. They'll keep coming.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Double T 97.3 presents The Morning Drive Power Hour. The Power Hour is presented by Service Compression, committed to service, advanced technology, and field-proven compression expertise in the oil field. See them at servicecompression.com.
8:02 this morning here on the Morning Drive, hour 3 of 3 on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T 97.3.com. Good morning. With Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. Feels like we've been running uphill all morning, but that's all right. Some days you got to run uphill. Maybe the bottom line will be downhill running for Jamie today.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We come to you, Jamie, Jeff, and I, from the First United Bank studio. Take your thoughts and comments, your observations, your reaction, your critiques, criticism on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Take all of it. I don't care. Visual Edge IT hotline, it too is open, 806-771-0973. Bobby Hot Dog says, I have a couple jars of legit moonshine at my house. Should I grab one and bring it up there for Chuck to sample on the air?
How did you get them, Bobby?
Did you go to like somebody's miner camp there in Morgantown when you were up there? You stumble up into the hills and, find somebody with a log cabin and a still out front or outside, on the side, the back, with steam coming out. Could.
Yeah, maybe.
Could. All right. So some of you, I'm not one. Okay. I think Jeff and Jamie are both of the mindset to leave the Big 12 right now. If you had an invitation.
Had the chance, I don't think that's realistic. But if you had the chance.
Now, if you were going to tell me and I really don't want to go anywhere. If you were to tell me though, the Big Ten or the SEC would take you, I think that's pretty good. I mean, because the money's going to be a lot better. But I mean, just because the grass is greener across the street doesn't mean it's better grass. Okay, sometimes the grass that's across the street is full of weeds and you just don't know it. It's fool's gold. Okay, so sometimes the spot that you're in, it's like, you think that you can upgrade your life a little bit. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't.
Let me just say this, Chuck. I enjoy where you are right now as far as you're kind of the big dog in this conference right now.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that this conference is clearly showing if they continue through with this lawsuit, I think it continues to show they're not a fan of yours, not just the other schools in the conference, but it feels like the conference itself does not appreciate you either. And so, although I like where you are position-wise as being kind of the big dog right now, if they're going to do everything they can to try to hold you back, so to speak, then
how is the Big 12? I'm just curious. How's the Big 12 holding you back? Because they wouldn't let you throw things on the field, and because they wouldn't let you have a gambler. I mean, help me.
Okay, the throwing things on the field has not been brought up at all today.
I know, but I mean, people have brought that up that I've seen on message boards and chat walls and things like that.
Things I didn't have an issue with.
Okay,
we ruined our chance of doing that because we acted like idiots.
Yes,
our fan base did.
And then so then we
if the Big 12 is continuing, I mean. How funny is it how fast you flip? A week ago, you're whining about the Big 12 letting their ADs talk about us and complain about us.
Yep.
You're whining about how it doesn't feel like we're together. They're not protecting us all. And now you act like, hey, we're all great. We shouldn't be mad at them.
Well, I mean, I guess I look at it as we lost. We lost our bid. So sometimes when you lose, you have to pay the piper. I just feel like in this particular case that the Big 12...
Who threatened who first?
They threatened to hold us accountable for the rules, which was in the bylaws, you can't do this, okay? We can do this. We can take this away from you. So that's in the bylaws, Jamie. And so I don't like the fact that the Big 12 is coming after us. I don't like it. I don't like that there was a... You know what match between us and them and us and the other 15. I don't like it at all. I don't think it's not healthy for your conference. I didn't like that they came after you. I didn't like it. I didn't like the letter that Ken Paxton wrote. I didn't like it. I thought it was crazy. Okay, on one end, as it turned out, but and then as it turns out, well, there's some attorney fees that are as a result of that. You know what? We may have to pay for that.
No, I disagree. I mean, again, we did what the court system told us to do.
I agree with you on that.
Okay, we did that. And then the Big 12 said, well, if you're going to follow the law, if you're going to follow the court system, we're coming after you. And Texas Tech, all they said was, we're coming after, we'll fight back.
Yes.
And so both, neither one of them did anything. They just threatened.
And
neither one of them did anything.
And they employed people that are, adept at writing lawsuits.
Okay, whatever. All right. That's just the cost of doing business. If the Big 12 is so petty that they're going to charge you for that, then they clearly don't appreciate you. They clearly are going to be against
I don't think they appreciated what took place.
What are we talking about?
The Big 12. I don't think they appreciated the position that we put them in with Sorsby.
Again, now we're going back to the issue of should Brendan Sorsby be allowed to play? Should he not be allowed to play?
No, I'm not going back to that issue.
The court said he was. So did you expect Texas Tech at that point to say, even though the court said he is, we're going to bail on him?
Look, it's semantics. We're just agreeing to disagree here. I think that there might be some culpability for us to have to pay some of the Big 12's attorneys' fees because we got the Big 12 into this mess.
And I disagree.
Okay. Now, here's the thing I want to talk.
Again, I don't think we got them in. They threatened us first. They got themselves in. They threatened us first. They put themselves into this mess. And they forced a response from us that forced another response for them, and that's when it started costing them money.
Okay. And my point to you is they said these are the bylaws that we can do.
Okay. They didn't have to. They could have went by what Texas Tech went by, which was what the court said. But the Big 12 said, no, we're going to go above the court, and so we're going to threaten Texas Tech. They started it.
Well, and they're going to say we're going to hold you accountable for this.
They started it,
because
not us.
You've agreed to these bylaws.
Not Texas Tech.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.